All right. So, um, let's see here. So, episode 4 was basically Twilight Zone, and they used that as a reason why superpowered people can't become actors because an unstable person, unstable in his powers, that is, was using his powers to make money in Hollywood. Unfortunately, at some point, his powers gave out. And like I said, he always seemed like he was falling through doors or something. So like I said, it's very Twilight Zone. Now, he so he that's the reason, and then we just briefly see Simon, I assume, on a job learning about why superpowered people can't be actors. And I'm just thinking, you've known you've had superpowers practically all your life. Why are you researching this now? I mean, I guess he figured because he never had a job where his superpowers would come into any use. But anyway, so we see them meeting up in episode 5. We see them meeting up at a restaurant. I assume the same restaurant they were at before. Excited about the fact that they both got callbacks. And Simon is, of course, overthinking things and freaking out over the fact he got a callback, whereas Trevor's like, "Woohoo! We both got callbacks." Um, he meets up with someone who he met, I guess, when he was pretending to be the Mandarin, maybe, or someone in the pocket dimension. Who knows? And he did have a shout out to the pocket dimension that he was in for those of you who saw the Shang-Chi movie. Um, so he is taken out back. This one guy is threatening to kill him, but all he does is slap him around. He does eventually threaten him with a gun. And he decides, and Simon, you can see that Simon's powers are kicking in because you see that there's a mud puddle, and the puddle is starting to boil, starting to bubble. So Simon uses his powers to save Trevor, which Trevor is so grateful for. I'm He still will not tell Trevor about damage control because damage control is trying to get a hold of Trevor to find out what's going on. And obviously Trevor has decided he's not working with them anymore. So I still wish that Trevor would say, "Oh, by the way, we have more than just some young punk that we need to deal with." So some kid catches them on a GoPro, and so Simon and Trevor have to go find him. He gives this story, and let's face it, the whole operation is just completely crazy. But Jaden claims that someone stole his bike, and they go, and it's this really nice neighborhood, and this should really get people questioning. I mean, Trevor questioned from the very beginning, but insistent on Simon is so insistent on getting his footage back because, obviously if it gets out, he won't be able to work as an actor. And again, my question is, dude, you literally just saved Trevor from getting killed. And still your first instinct is, I want to be an actor. Not, I want to save people. But anyway, so Jaden gives them this bullshit story of this guy stole my bike and, you return it and I will give you the footage. Otherwise, I'm going to release it for everyone to see. And the older guy, the guy who theoretically should not know how shit works, is the one who's calling bullshit. Simon is like, nah, I'm totally gonna believe it, because he's so wanting to get hands on this footage that he's not even remotely thinking. So they go to the guy's house. Turns out they're total Mandarin super fans, which I thought, okay, this is gonna go south. It did, just not in the way I expected. Zaniness ensues. The guys that got the shit beaten out of them by Simon ask, where's Trevor? And they're using Jaden. They think that if they put Jaden, threaten Jaden's life, that they're going to do something. When in reality, Trevor, rightfully pointed out, this person's nothing to me. Especially since he fucking lied. And Trevor knew that he lied. So he decides that, all right, Simon just is trying to figure out, okay, what to do. Janelle calls. And the callback is moved up because apparently Von Kovac is going somewhere tomorrow. Because, we can't rearrange things for the benefit of actors. But anyway. So the police just happen to show up and you're like, how did the police know to come? And of course, Esteban is freaking out because all he's doing is making candy. He's not doing anything illicit. So I don't know if Jaden called the cops, as a backup, or if this was damage control, that they somehow found where Trevor and Simon were. But regardless, everybody gets out. Everybody who was in the house manages to get out. The only person, we hear shots, so we don't know if Jaden is okay. But to be honest, I don't care. I mean, Jaden gave this bullshit story just so he could steal another person's bike simply because he's a candy-making rival now? I mean, what the fuck? So if I don't know who got shot, whether the police, whether just the thugs that attacked Trevor, whether Jaden got shot. To be honest, except for, if it weren't for the fact that the cops' arrival was hella suspicious, I would say I would want the cops to get shot, but under the circumstances, I honestly do not care who got shot. I'm interested to know who did, just simply because I'm interested, but at the end of the day, don't care. So Trevor And so that's how it ends. Trevor and Simon get into the car and they're about to drive away. So, and of course, we know that their next place is going to be the Von Kovacs callback. So we know where they're going next episode. Now, I knew that there was going to be 2 episodes. I told you that there would be 2 episodes that were basically filler. Even more so than what we've been dealing with. But I wasn't expecting just how crazy. I mean, at least episode 5 had some action. Episode 4 was just Twilight Zone. Let's have an excuse to do a Twilight Zone episode. So, yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to mention about these episodes. I believe I covered everything I wanted to in these episodes. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. We have 3 episodes left. So,